Captain Ibrahim Traore.
Revolutionary leader Captain Ibrahim. Supporters of Burkina Faso's military leader have called for...
If they dare touch Ibrahim Traore, they will regret. We are ready to go.
The ruling elite of a country...
France and America will see this and think it's AI because they will never believe it.
It's a great symbol and it reflects the friendly character of...
In Burkina Faso, a country once overlooked in global aviation, something extraordinary just happened. Captain Ibrahim Traore revealed a domestically built aircraft engineered, assembled, and tested on African soil. While many celebrated, others, especially in the West, reacted with silence, suspicion, and panic. This is not just a plane, it's a geopolitical statement. Chapter 1. The plane that changed everything. Burkina Faso's first ever fully domestically produced aircraft has taken flight, and it's not just making headlines, it's making enemies. On June 15, 2025, the capital city of Ouagadougou stood still as a sleek, modern aircraft powered up its engine, taxied down the tarmac, and soared into the sky. This wasn't a foreign manufactured plane. It wasn't funded by Europe, nor imported from the US, nor a repainted Chinese prototype. This was Burkina Faso's own, a feat born from a collaboration of local engineers, military minds, and regional aviation specialists. But beyond the steel and wires, this aircraft carried something heavier, a message. A message that the Sahel is not asking for permission anymore. According to initial briefings from Burkina's Ministry of Aviation, the plane features a lightweight carbon fiber composite body, AI-powered avionics, extended-range fuel efficiency, and a stealth-quiet propulsion system designed for low radar detectability. While official specs remain classified, insiders say its max range exceeds 2,500 miles, with fuel economy systems rivaling Western models in the $30 to $45 million price bracket.
First made airplane in Burkina Faso. It's Burkina Faso technicians that did this job. It's not like they went and brought technicians from somewhere. They got the knowledge, yes, but it is their technician, Burkina Faso technician. They coupled this, everything was done, like it was manufactured in Burkina Faso. This is a shock. Did you expect this?
That kind of tech developed under sanctions no less sent Western observers into shock. Chapter 2. The man behind the movement. To understand why this aircraft matters so much, you need to understand who Captain Ibrahim Traore is and why they've tried to eliminate him 19 times. Since taking office in September 2022, Traore has faced repeated assassination attempts, economic sabotage, and information warfare, all while dismantling colonial power structures and pushing for full sovereignty in the Sahel. Yet he remains unfazed. No sirens, no heavily armed convoys with flashing lights. When Traore moves through the streets, traffic halts in silence, not because police ordered it, but because the people choose to stop. It's not protocol, it's loyalty. The kind of respect Traore commands can't be bought, and that's what frightens his enemies. Western intelligence communities, already shaken by his bold removal of French troops and currency dependency, now had to face the reality of a self-made African aerospace advancement. When the aircraft was unveiled, there was no flashy global press event, no invitation to CNN. Just a calm announcement to the nation and a test flight so smooth it left even international aviation analysts speechless. Chapter 3. The Western Response. When the footage of the takeoff started spreading on TikTok and Twitter, the first Western response wasn't applause, it was disbelief. The dominant narrative wasn't, "How did they do it?" but instead, "It's fake. It's AI." This, of course, followed a familiar playbook: discredit, distort, and distract.
Is receiving gratuities on the side that inure to the benefit of the strongman leader.
I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Traore and Burkina Faso, as they know that both.
Say it's CGI, say it's propaganda, say it's not real. And it worked for a short while. Even some African commentators started questioning the footage, falling right into the trap. The idea was simple: plant the seed of doubt before the reality grows roots. The logic? If Africans don't believe in it, it becomes easier to isolate the project, mock it, or worse, sabotage it. But why were they so desperate to convince the world that this wasn't real? Because it is real. And if Burkina Faso, under sanctions, under threat, and without IMF handouts, could build something like this, what else could it do? Private memos leaked from European aviation firms suggest that French and German manufacturers began sending scouts to West Africa just days after the footage leaked. Several attempted direct negotiations. Burkina Faso refused. For now, Traore's administration is tight-lipped about who helped design the aircraft. But there are whispers of deep coordination with Russia and Iran, both known for supporting Sahel nations in defiance of US and EU sanctions. Chapter 4. The Geopolitical Backlash. If you want to understand what's really happening, you have to look beyond Burkina Faso. Look at General Abdourahmane Tiani in Niger, Captain Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso, and Brigadier General Brice Oligui Nguema in Gabon. These are not isolated leaders. This is a bloc. They've all broken from Western puppetry. They've expelled French troops. They've rejected CFA franc dependency. They've created a military and diplomatic alliance, one that even caught Putin's attention. This brings us to the next phase, crippling the support system. Russia, under President Vladimir Putin, has been a silent but significant backer of the Sahel's new wave of sovereignty. With Western influence shrinking, the Kremlin stepped in, offering military cooperation, weapons contracts, drone technology, and, according to some reports, parts for the aircraft project itself. That's why Western powers are suddenly sharpening their focus on Putin again.
Character of relations between Burkina Faso and Russia, and I would like to mention your contribution, your country's contribution to defeating German Nazism and its allies. Some 30,000 Burkinabe fought with anti-Hitler coalition forces.
Ukraine may be the public headline, but the strategic objective is bigger. Break the Sahel by breaking Russia, cut off the spine, and the body collapses. But it hasn't worked, and Traore knows it. He's said it publicly. They'll never take me out until my purpose here is fulfilled. That kind of confidence doesn't come from ego. It comes from conviction, and it terrifies his enemies. Chapter 5. The Symbolism of Flight. Burkina Faso has long been seen as a landlocked, resource-rich but development-poor country. To most of the West, it was a backwater, a place to mine, not to admire. But the launch of this aircraft flips that image upside down. This wasn't just about flight, it was about self-determination. In Traore's own words, "For too long, we watched the skies while others flew. Today, we take flight with our own wings, our own minds, and our own hands." That quote is already being taught in schools across the region. It's been painted on murals, turned into t-shirts, used as a rallying cry across Mali, Guinea, and Niger. This is why the aircraft is dangerous, not because of what it can do in the air, but because of what it's doing on the ground. It's changing the way young Africans see their future. Instead of fleeing to Europe on boats, they're seeing reasons to stay, reasons to build, reasons to believe. This isn't just about an airplane. This is about a tectonic shift in the power dynamics of the Sahel. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are working hand in hand to create a unified army under the alliance of Sahel states. And again, Russia, China, and North Korea are the partners helping make it happen. These countries aren't coming in with 80-20 deals or giving lectures on democracy while looting resources. They're coming in with tech, training, and respect. It's a 50-50 partnership, straight up, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Remember when the armored car production was announced across the AES countries? That wasn't just symbolic, that was strategic preparation. Chapter 6. Economic Implications. The global aviation industry is worth over $850 billion. Africa's share, less than 2%. If Burkina Faso enters this market, even modestly, it opens the floodgates.
Captain Ibrahim Traore.
Revolutionary leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore.
If they dare touch Ibrahim Traore, they will regret. We are ready to go and fight in the Burkina Army. Me, my old age, I'll go and fight in the Burkina Faso Army.
Across Africa and beyond, a name is echoing louder than ever in conversations about leadership, sovereignty, and the future of the continent.
With localized manufacturing, regional partnerships, and intra-African defense contracts, Traore's administration could generate hundreds of millions annually from just export-ready components. Already, Ghana, Mali, and Chad have reportedly expressed interest in a smaller variant of the aircraft for reconnaissance missions. If even 3 regional buyers sign up, that's a pipeline worth $70 to $100 million in its first phase. But this isn't just about money, it's about ownership. Traore's government has refused to allow foreign ownership of the core tech or production infrastructure. The facilities remain in Burkina Faso, run by Burkinabe engineers, and funded by a combination of domestic reserves and allied state contributions, none of which include France or the US. And that's another reason why this plane is so powerful. It was built without debt, no IMF loans, no World Bank strings, no Western investors demanding stock. A plane built on sovereignty. Chapter 7. What's next for Burkina Faso and the Sahel? So what happens next? The aircraft, now dubbed Faso 1, will begin official defense integration by August 2025, followed by production of 2 additional units by the end of the year. The goal is not just national defense, but regional logistics and civilian transportation. Plans are underway to launch a Burkina-led West African aviation college by 2026, aimed at training engineers and pilots from across the Sahel. No tuition fees, fully funded by state profits from uranium and gold exports. Meanwhile, General Tiani in Niger continues to push for full regional independence from ECOWAS, with plans to transition to a new Sahel currency already in the works designed by African economists, not Parisian bankers. Putin, on his part, remains a wild card, but as long as the Sahel leaders hold power, Russia will likely deepen its involvement, offering more military tools in exchange for strategic African alliances that stretch from Khartoum to Bamako. In short, Burkina Faso isn't just flying a plane, it's launching a movement. And for Western powers used to controlling airspace and minds alike, that's the real threat.
Airplanes in Africa is not a country that's, that is developed, that is big, It's a country that the world look down upon. We never expect this one coming from Burkina Faso, your majesty. Like, the truth be said, I never expected that Ibrahim Traore would venture into manufacturing airplane with Burkinabe engineers, technicians in Burkina Faso. Like I told you, of course.
In a world where the narrative has always been written by those above, Burkina Faso has taken flight from below. This isn't about one aircraft, it's about a continent lifting off. And for the first time in a very long time, the cockpit belongs to Africa.